Good morning. It's July 3rd, 2018. Welcome to another installment of Lost in Schizophrenia. Yo. Anyways, my name is Michael Bennett. I'm author of the book Lost in Schizophrenia, which you can get on Barnes & Nobles or Amazon ebook format or any, iBooks or Kobo or any of those Google Books. You can get it as an ebook for anywhere from $4 to $6. If you want the paperback, you can get it from the Northshire.com bookstore, Northshire.com. The cost is $26 for the paperback. That includes shipping and handling. My name is Michael Bennett, and I have suffered from schizophrenia from the time I was 22 to the current age of 47. That's 25 years I've had schizophrenia. And my last video blog didn't come out so well. I posted it, but the audio is kind of shoddy, so I'll cover some of that stuff that I covered in that last video blog. Anyways, one of the things I wanted to cover, which I covered in the last video blog, was spirituality, and how spirituality plays a big part in my recovery in mental illness. For a long time, I was a Scientologist, and Scientology is very adamantly against psychiatry, and so it made my treatment in psychiatry very rough, very bad. It was terrible. I never wanted to do anything my psychiatrist said. I never wanted to take my meds. I got hospitalized over and over. I got hospitalized like 30 times before I started taking my meds on a regular basis. And that happened in New Hampshire. And eventually I studied many religions growing up. From the time I was like 17 to the time I was about 30, I studied everything from Rosicrucianism to Buddhism, to Taoism, Hinduism, Confucianism, Shintoism, Coptic religions, astrology, psychic ability, clairvoyance, vibraturgy, you name it. I studied it all. And eventually I came back to being a Christian because during some of my psychotic episodes, I had visions of myself being immortal. And I understand, how can I be immortal in the future? Because I'm only supposed to live, 40 more years, and then I'm supposed to die. And how could I be in a starship flying across the galaxy and be 6'10"? And how's that possible? And then I learned about Christianity, about how there's such thing as the resurrection. And the first resurrection, when Jesus Christ returns, he resurrects the living and dead in Christ, and they become glorified, resurrected beings like him, and they become immortal. So I'm only in it for the exaltation or the resurrection. See? No other religion offers the resurrection other than Christianity. And I think Islam does too, and so does Judaism. But Christianity is specifically, the whole end goal of Christianity is to bring about the eventual immortality of mankind. And I'm a Mormon. I was raised a Mormon, and I went back to my Mormon roots when I was about 30 years of age, after my dad died. Both my mother and father are deceased. My mom died in 1997, my dad died in 2001. I graduated college in 2001. I got my associates in architectural engineering. I've been in the architecture field for about 25 years. And I'm moving on, and I've decided to become a psychiatrist now. And I was accepted at Castleton University, where I'll be studying molecular biology and biomedicine. Hopefully I'll get good grades, and I can transfer to a medical school. The school I want to go to is University of New England. It's UNE up in Biddeford, Maine. It's a great school, and it's an osteopathic medical school, so I'm looking forward to that. One of the things I want to become is a psychiatrist, like I mentioned earlier, and osteopathic medicine lends very well to psychiatry. Back to the spiritual aspects of mental illness. When people are mentally ill, especially with schizophrenia, they can have visions. They have messianic visions. For a while there, I thought I was Jesus Christ, and I said, how is that possible? I'm Van Bennett. How could I be Jesus Christ? That's nuts. But it was neurotransmitters firing in my brain that were misfiring, and I was delusional. I had a chemical imbalance. I still have a chemical imbalance, and it caused me to think delusionally and have hallucinations and things like that. But I've been steadily on my medication for a long time now, even though I've gone through the gambit. Recently, I was divorced. My wife left me back in 2015. She left me, and I got hospitalized, and I spent some time in some group homes, and now I'm living on my own. This is my apartment behind me. Living on my own. I have a friend staying with me right now because she's homeless, so she's not here right now, but she's crashing in my place, couch surfing right now. More about spirituality. I do believe in things like chakras and the astral plane and the different bodies of spiritual bodies that we have, and I'm a Reiki practitioner. I'm a Reiki 1 practitioner, so I know a little bit about chakras. And I do practice Reiki from time to time. I'm also a meditator. I'm a transcendental meditator. I also meditate Rosicrucian style. The Rosicrucians are a Coptic fraternity that have been around for about 3,500 years. They incorporate all religions, philosophies, and sciences into one group of knowledge, which you apply in your daily rituals. And by doing so, you become more enlightened. And I was a Rosicrucian for a long time. Actually, I was a Rosicrucian baby. My mom would meditate and pray and visualize her son while she was in the womb. While I was in the womb, she would sit there and visualize what kind of child I would be, what kind of person I'd be, and she would meditate and she would try to bring me special gifts and things like that. So I was pretty impressed that my parents would do something like that for me, and very grateful. And this whole spiritual journey began when I was about 17. My parents took me to a psychic named Ronette Stoddard, and she for like 3 or 4 hours told me really great things about myself. It was really impressive, and that's when I started to become very interested in the spiritual aspects of my life. Things like Confucianism, Taoism, Buddhism, Hinduism. Very fascinating religion. Very, very powerful bodies of knowledge. Scientology is a pretty powerful body of knowledge, but the people are a little bit weird. They're just a little bit weird and a little strange, and they're hard to get along with sometimes. And they confuse the hell out of me. So I kind of stay away from them now. Anyways, I like the Mormon religion because it's straightforward. 15 million people can't be wrong. There are 15 million people in the Mormon religion. And I think the Book of Mormon is a true document. It's a pretty fascinating document. I've lost friends because I'm a Mormon. They're fundamentalist Christians, and they say, "Oh, you can't be a Mormon, be my friend." And I'm like, yeah, that's the teachings of Jesus Christ at work. Yeah, you know a lot about Jesus, don't you? Obviously they don't. Oh, you can't be my friend if you're a Mormon. What kind of BS is that? It's like, anyways. So, I'm hoping you can, if you are schizophrenic or just trying to learn about schizophrenia, I welcome you to my video blogs. I try to blog 15 minutes a day. Promote my book, Lost in Schizophrenia, and also to talk about mental illness and all its aspects. I had a blog about medication. I had a video blog about symptoms. If you want me to blog about certain aspects of mental illness, then we can do that. What I can talk about right now is medical school, and what I plan on doing to go to medical school. It'll take me 3 years to get my bachelor's in biomedicine and molecular biology at Kansas University. And after I'm done getting my my undergrad, if I have a 3.5 or better, I have a good chance of getting into medical school. 3.5 GPA, or grade point average. And once I get into medical school, it's 4 more years of school. 2 years of learning about the science of medicine, and then 2 years of rotations where you try out different aspects of medicine, everything from being a general practitioner to a surgeon, psychiatry to, what do we call it, surgery to oncology and things like that. I wanted to be an oncologist for a while, but I think everyone would pity me. So we'll see how that goes. But the pay is good. And when you get out of med school, you usually have your salary with like $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 in debt, depending on which school you go to and how much you take out. But you usually settle with some pretty heavy debt. And even though you make $200,000 a year, it's like it's gonna take you like 10 years to pay off those student loans. Medical school is tough, but what's really tough is your residency and your internship. You do an internship for a year, and that's when you work in the ER after you graduate medical school. You work in the work in the ER, and you do everything from resuscitate dead people to helping mentally ill people who commit themselves to the ER, or to stitching up somebody, or the internship is really intense. And then you do a 3-year residency where you specialize. Well, if I were to do psychiatry, then I'd probably be most likely working in the ER, helping people who are hearing voices or having symptoms, having hallucinations, or are delusional, or are manic, or hypomanic, or depressed, or all these different things. And I really want to help people. The other day I was thinking about how messed up this world is, and how all the shooters out there, the people that shoot up places like Columbine and Virginia Tech and Sandy Hook and the Florida shootings, and recently Annapolis, there was 5 people killed in a newspaper company. And I was thinking, if the shooters had a psychiatrist that could have committed them, or had them take medication, or had therapy or counseling, I bet you those shootings would never have happened. So there's a great shortage of psychiatrists out there. We need psychiatrists. Yeah. So I really want to be a psychiatrist. I have had some great psychiatrists. I've had some bad psychiatrists, but they've all taught me a lot about mental health and mental illness. I used to love talking to my other psychiatrist, Dr. Buchanan, about medicine and things like that. He was a great psychiatrist. Dr. Buchanan, if you're watching this video blog, hi, how you doing? I haven't forgotten you. Dr. Buchanan would always, when I went to see him once a month, we'd talk for like half an hour, about once every 5 to 6 weeks. And he would check on my health. He would make sure that I was getting enough sleep, and that I was eating properly, and getting enough exercise, and that the medications were working. He really cared for me. He really cared for me. I felt really cared for with Dr. Buchanan. And Dr. Bennett really pushed a lot of therapy with his patients, in the sense that he would have therapists work with his patients. He didn't do therapy himself, but when I talked to him for half an hour, it was like getting a therapy session for half an hour. He was very kind and very thoughtful, and he's going to go down as one of my favorite psychiatrists. It kind of inspired me to be a psychiatrist. So he actually has a PhD in neurology, I believe, too. So he's very knowledgeable of all the nervous system and things like that, which the brain is the main part of the nervous system, but the whole nervous system is what makes decisions for us. It's not just the brain; it's the whole nervous system, the spinal column, the cranial nerves, the nerves going outward from the ribs and the back and things like that from the spinal cord. All the nerves, the whole nervous system is important when it comes to making consciousness possible. Okay, I got a minute left to go. So, if you have any questions about medicine that I can answer, let me know, and I'll try to answer them for you. If you have any questions, just comment below. I'll try to answer your questions. I'm not a doctor, so So if you need to get information from your doctor, that's a good thing. You might want to do that first. But if say you need some clarity on something, I can do my best. I can look things up. I can ask my doctors if clarify some information, or if you just need some advice from my own experience. I've had 25 years of mental health experience. I've run the gamut from being treatment resistant to embracing the mental health field. Just let me know. All right, take care and God bless.